something extremely progressive. A police chief has been appointed who has never been a cop before. Not a sworn officer, has no arrest powers, does not carry a gun. Let's put up a picture. That is the New Jersey City police chief. Her name is Tawana Moody. This is so fascinating. And she's making a huge impact, moving the needle in a positive direction. Tawana Moody has never conducted an arrest. Tawana Moody has never had a badge. Miss Moody, Chief Moody, has never had a police issued gun. None of that. And she has never gone through the academy. Yet she's in charge of the Jersey City, New Jersey's 950 officer police department. This is an amazing story. Let me show you how this one move, this one progressive move, has positively impacted that local community and the local police department. Now, naturally, this does come with some pushback from those who are more traditionalist in law enforcement, and they would always like to see a cop with a gun and arrest powers be in charge of the policing division. So here it is, Moody, 50-year-old black woman with no traditional law enforcement experience, became the country's first civilian police leader earlier this year when her predecessor retired. Why did this happen? To address the growing gap between the force and the community at a time when national faith in law enforcement was at an all-time low. Democratic Mayor Stephen Phillip decided the department needed a fresh perspective and appointed Moody instead of a sworn officer. Let's put up a picture of the mayor. Leadership matters. Leadership matters. This mayor not only had the will, but he had the political fortitude to do something that was different and not readily popular with law enforcement, but he did it. Moody says, and I quote, "I was born and raised in Jersey City my whole life." Moody was also the first black woman to lead the department, so count it now. She's the first black woman and the first non-cop in the United States of America to lead a police department. Said of the fast growing and racially diverse city just outside of Manhattan. Growing up here, we know the struggle of what people didn't understand about homelessness, about the drug dealers and other issues in the city. And all the community really wants is accountability and to know what's going on. That's right, accountability and transparency. That's what people want. Although Moody initially faced some pushback, especially from the local police union, you don't say, the new direction has largely proven to be a success. Almost a year into the role, she's implemented half a dozen reforms. That's hard to do. You got some, they can't do that being at the job for 10 years. She's already done this in one, all right? Like improving the arrest process, adding more police training, and other departments around the country are keeping a close eye on the results of her tenure. There's more. Moody has worked for the Jersey City Police Department for 16 years. Now, she was always a civilian. She started out as a clerk, okay? She eventually worked her way up to the position of police director in 2018. In that role, she oversaw the administrative needs of the department's officers and civilian employees. The idea of civilian oversight of policing is actually growing in popularity. This summer, city leaders in Chicago passed an ordinance to give non-law enforcement community leaders more input on who leads the police department. The mayor of St. Louis also recently announced plans to give civilians more insight with the creation of an Office of Public Accountability. So you see the needle moving in this direction. Ithaca, New York has done something very similar. Atlanta, Georgia did something very similar. They're moving to this civilian control or civilian input dynamic, okay? Now, officers are safer. They spend less time transporting suspects, meaning there are fewer opportunities for false allegations against them. And suspects spend less time in uncomfortable cells and handcuffs. They're moved to court faster it just works for everybody. Moody has also instituted a rule of 2 officers. She has a 2-officer rule per patrol. So cops can hold each other accountable. There is an accountability mandate to report individuals who are acting unlawful. She has also stressed the importance of body cameras and changed the way the department deals with complaints. Now check this out. By handling newly filed complaints personally, as soon as they are submitted, rather than letting them stack up and addressing them whenever convenient. That part right there, that one move, I know these other moves are helping with the agency and the fluidity of the processes, and some of the reforms are very impactful for accountability and transparency. But that one move where you, the person in charge of the outfit, you receive all complaints personally. I know what that does. I have a very similar rule with my radio program, with this television show and other platforms. I want to see it personally. Why? Because I was taught, listen to everything, respond to what's important. All right, Senator Turner, thoughts?
Absolutely extraordinary. Chief Moody is doing that thing.
Yeah.
Big ups to her, and the fact that she's never been in law enforcement, but she's been in that department. So
she knows the industry.
Yeah, she knows the industry, and born and raised in New Jersey City, baby. And I'm gonna lift up that mayor too. I'm gonna give him a shout out as well. And I want to say about how she is setting a different mood, if you will. Pun definitely intended.
Right.
Doc, you always talk about culture. She is definitely changing the culture, and maybe this is that feminine energy that Tucker was referring to. We need to go
back on Tucker. Tucker just wants some feminine energy.